Hi there, my name is Sarah Locke, and I am called by the Florida Bahamas Synod to Jacksonville Campus Ministry, where I am a pastor here in Jacksonville, Florida. My call story involves a lot of different people in a lot of different places, but the one theme that seems constant throughout is that people trusted me when I was young. I went to college at Ohio State University, and when I first began college, I was so excited to get involved in everything that had to do with politics. I figured that was how we were going to change the world. We had to put policies in place and make sure that people were fed and nourished and loved through our government and through the sort of policies that we passed in our government. Well, the year after I started college, it was summer, and I was 19 years old, and my grandfather was a pastor in town, and the youth minister there came to me and he said, "Sarah, I'm really in a bind. I really need a female chaperone for this mission trip that we're taking to Charleston, West Virginia." And I thought, you're crazy. There's no way I'm going to be a chaperone to 6 or 7 young people that are just a year younger than I am, that I would make the worst chaperone. And he said, "No, really, I think you'd be a great chaperone, and I could really use your help on this trip." And so it was about halfway between Ohio, where I went to college, and Virginia, where my parents were living at the time. And so I thought, okay, I'll go and I'll make this trip and I'll go do this mission trip with these kids and be a chaperone at 19 years old. And then I would go visit my parents for the summer. What happened during that mission trip was that I fell in love. I fell in love with the mission and the ministry and the sort of chaotic love that God was about at the time, and the kind of chaotic love that I think God is still working in our churches, in our mission trips, in our youth groups, in our colleges. And I fell right in love with the ministry. And so I spent the summer kind of pondering and longing to be back in Charleston, West Virginia, and go through that experience again. But fall came around and I went back up to Ohio, and I spent another year kind of devoting myself to politics, devoting myself to my major as an American political science major. And then I graduated from college after that year, and I kind of didn't know what I was doing. I had done internships, I had applied to different places to be a part of their programs, and I had moved back in with my parents, as a lot of college students do after they graduate, and I was kind of lost. And that's when I discovered that there was a Lutheran campus ministry at Ohio State. That's right. I went to Ohio State for 2 years, had no idea that there was a Lutheran campus ministry, didn't participate in it at all. Then I graduated, and all of a sudden I thought, gosh, I would really like to be involved in a Lutheran campus ministry. And the people there welcomed me with open arms, even though I wasn't a college student anymore. And they loved me with everything that they were. And God really started opening up doors for ministry and a transformation that was happening in my own heart at that point. And so I fell right in love with campus ministry. I fell in love with the fact that you could ask all of these really, really hard questions, and instead of someone trying to give you an easy answer or say, well, here it is in the Bible, we would spend hours and hours talking about these things. And I loved that, and I fell right in love with it. And so that summer in 2012, I applied and volunteered with the youth gathering that the ELCA has every 3 years. And that kind of sealed the deal for me. I was 20 years old, And I had never been in ministry at all in a real sense of the word. But the people at the youth gathering, they trusted me and they believed in me, and I volunteered, and I thought there is no place I would rather be in the entire world than right here doing ministry with God's people. And I met so many incredible pastors there. I met youth leaders that were doing incredible work with their youth. And from there, I mean, everything just started falling into place. I went back and I started talking to my friends that I had at campus ministry. Jacob's Porch is the name of the campus ministry. And I thought, you know, there's something happening here. There's something that I can feel that God is doing. And they said, it is. You're going to go into ministry. No. No, that's not what is happening here. Ministry is not the thing for me. And they insisted and they trusted me and they loved me until I applied for seminary. And then God began opening even more doors for ministry. And since then, my entire life has been devoted to campus ministry. I adore it. It's important. It's perhaps one of the most important ministries that we have in this church, because from a young age, as an 18, 19-year-old, we have to trust. We have to trust what is in young people's hearts and what's in their gut. And we have to equip them with the tools in order to lead us. I've loved it. I've loved it ever since, and I could never be more grateful to God and to the people who trusted me when I was young to be a part of this ministry that I am today.